Hi there, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us tonight on Up North Live Unscripted at 6:30. Let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix, right away to talk about some weather. Joe, we finally got a break from the rain, although we know we needed that rain. So nice to have that, but it is also nice to have a bit of a break and to see, we didn't really see a whole lot of sunshine today, but we do see the clouds moving out of the way for the night, right?
Yeah, like slowly they'll head out of here, and we should get back most areas tomorrow with some sunshine, so that'll be nice. I agree with your sentiment though on the rain, because we did need it. It's been very dry. We had some last week and this week, but you're spot on. You don't have to rain for a week straight
right.
either. So it'll be nice the rest of the week to get a little bit of a break in that, Maya. And the weekend looks okay, at least to start, but may end a little rainy. So we'll have more on that coming up a little later.
All right, thank you so much, Joe. And let's start off with a special report that our anchor and reporter, Mark Schlett, has been working on for a while now. So this is a story and a topic that is impacting farmers, not just here in northern Michigan, but across the state and across the entire country. And farmers already have so much to worry about that they can't control. Of course, a big thing being the weather. But right now, many farmers have another thing that they can't control that they do have to worry about. So the clock is ticking in Washington, D.C. for the federal farm bill. And it's a piece of critical legislation that not only impacts them, but it could impact anyone who eats food, period. So Mark Schlett has much more in this special report.
I just love growing fruit.
Ben LaCrosse, like most farmers, has a lot of passion for and pride in what he does. But like most farmers, admits,
Farming is not easy, and it's never been easy because farmers are at the whim of Mother Nature, and it just seems to be becoming more challenging year after year.
and those challenges, year after year, are taking a toll on those who work the land.
In the last 5 years, we've lost over 141,000 farms in the United States.
Taking a toll on the farmers, a lot of worries. Some as old as the weather from the sky, others newer and from Washington, D.C.
When it's hanging in the balance like it is right now, and there's uncertainty about what kind of farm bill we're going to have, that's when farmers worry about things like the Farm Bill.
In the 1930s, Congress passed the first Farm Bill. 18 farm bills later, in 2018, they passed this one.
The Farm Bill, I think about it as the safety net for farmers. So when we do have a crop failure or a frost event or something happens, that farmers have something to fall back on, whether it's crop insurance that's funded through the Farm Bill or another safety net, that farmers will be able to be there to farm again in the next year.
The Farm Bill does provide a safety net for farmers when crops fail, but that's only the start.
Really, it impacts everyone that might either be growing food or eating food. So that's really everyone in society.
Amongst other things, it also funds nutritional food assistance programs like SNAP benefits, feeding America's most vulnerable. And it provides critical dollars to fund research projects with direct impacts here in northern Michigan.
Every year, we give or take 25 to 35 different projects that are conducted here at the Research Center.
Here at the Northwest Michigan Horticultural Research Center, Farm Bill funding helps scientists work side by side with local growers to not only address today's challenges, but also those of the future.
So the Farm Bill's been critical for us. And so if you go back and you look at the origins of the Farm Bill, there was a research category in there. And so that bill has been critical to the work that we do here.
While on the farm, Ben's been dealing with a 6-year-old farm bill. Here at the station, Nikki's been doing the same.
Oh yeah, I think it needs an update.
Traditionally, the Farm Bill has received broad bipartisan support.
The last Farm Bill signed in 2018 was arguably one of the most bipartisan in history. You had 87 of the 100 senators supporting it and well over 300 members in the House supporting it.
But that hasn't happened this time. The 2018 Farm Bill was expiring, so Congress passed a 1-year extension last year. That expired at the end of this September.
The extension just moves the baseline funding off for 1 more year. So it's copy and paste for 1 more year.
Those on the inside say we're living in a 2024 world, working with policies, procedures, and funding from a 2018 world.
We need something that's built for the next 5 years. And since that last bill was signed in 2018, we've had a global pandemic, record inflation, supply chain challenges across the globe, numerous international conflicts. We've had challenges with labor availability, and on top of that, we now have depressed farm prices. So we really need something that can get us to the next level and not look backward.
Which means the clock is ticking for Congress to either pass another extension or, more preferably in farmers' eyes, craft a new farm bill entirely.
They need the certainty of a 5-year farm bill. There's nothing riskier than farming. Nobody else is looking at the weather every day like farmers are. I'm doing everything I can to be able to produce a farm bill. It's got to be one that's good for Michigan. That's what I've been able to produce in the past, and I'm not going to agree to anything that's not good for Michigan farmers. And so I'm working very hard to get that done.
Because many in the field say working on extensions, having funding expire, and not having certainty and predictability of the legislation becomes like the weather. One more worry they can't do anything about.
In a profession where we worry about the rain and the frost and everything else, it'd be nice to not have to worry about what's going on in Washington, D.C., and we can just go out into our farms and do our jobs.
And Mark is joining us live now for more on this special report. Hey, Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, Maya. Good evening.
So back in 2018, this is when the most updated farm bill was signed, and it should be updated every 5 years. So you said in your story that last year it was just extended. Why wasn't it updated?
Kind of depends on who you talk to on that one. There is debate. I think they were in a situation much like they are this year, where it kind of got down to the end of the calendar year, and they were like, something needs to be done. They couldn't reach an agreement, so they agreed to just extend it, which some people say that's just kicking the can further down the road. You think about and I didn't know much about the farm bill. You hear farm bill and you think, well, that impacts farmers. It is comprehensive legislation, and it impacts everybody that grows food and everybody that eats food, which if you draw those, that's everyone, right? So it impacts everyone. It is a very important piece of legislation beyond just the farms and our farmers. Traditionally over the past, it has had a lot of bipartisan support, and it is something that everybody can end up agreeing on. Whether you're a rural lawmaker or an urban lawmaker, it doesn't matter. It impacts everyone across the board. Just couldn't get it done last year, so they extended it. The concern now is, can they get it done now? And you think of what's going to happen between now and perhaps the end of the year with a change in the structure of the House and the Senate coming up. There's a lot of concern. Can a deal still be done? Senator Stabenow says, yes, we think we can get this done. It's going to have to be everybody coming together. Some farmers are left wondering, if we're that close to a deal that they've literally been working on for a couple of years to try to get a new farm bill, if we're that close, why hasn't it already been done? And farmers deal with enough unpredictability in their day-to-day with market prices, the weather, everything that's going on, that not having this as a safety net, not having the security of knowing that an up-to-date farm bill exists for them today and what the next 5 years will look like, is just one more thing that is taxing on the all-important American farmer and grower. So it's a very valid concern that they have, that a deal wasn't reached a year ago. The current farm bill expired at the end of September. So right now they are actually not working with a farm bill in place. Now, a lot of the funding for things like SNAP benefits and everything, that is guaranteed to work because they can find money elsewhere to fund that temporarily. But there's an awful lot riding on what can be done in the next 4, 6, 8 weeks in order to get a farm bill done. And I'm not sure that it's on a lot of our radars.
And something that's interesting in your story is, you know, this is a bill that is updated every 5 years, and maybe in a different time period, not a whole lot would change in 5 years. But of course, in the past 5 years, a lot has changed, especially with the COVID pandemic and the supply chain issues and whatnot. So I'm assuming that farmers now are dealing with issues that the 2018 bill just doesn't address.
Think about how much, and you can do this, I can do this, we have the same job, but think about if you're watching this at home, in your job, what's different that you do now, different policies and procedures that are in place that weren't in place in 2018, pre-COVID, right? The world has changed. Our day-to-day lives, so many things that we do now that we consider normal were not normal in 2018. Zoom meetings, something like that now incorporated into almost every workplace in America. We didn't do that in 2018, or at least not very much. So you think of how much the world has changed. The world has changed just as much for farmers and growers. Now, what they do in the field, actually, maybe not that much, but the whole global environment, the economy, everything, the way that everything works, and then you couple that with worker shortage, supply chain issues, COVID, all inflation, everything that we all have dealt with, they have dealt with as well. And so they're using policies, procedures, and in some cases funding levels from 2018 to try to work in our modern world. And it doesn't work very well. And we're seeing the decline of the number of the American farms out there. We're losing farms every year that can't compete in the modern environment. And working with an outdated old farm bill, the farmers will say that doesn't help them. We need as many growers and farmers out there as we currently have, and having an old or expiring farm bill doesn't help keep farmers in the field and keep farms active.
And Senator Stabenow, who is on the Agriculture Committee, she says that she is confident that a new bill will be passed. But what about the other people that you talked to and the farmers? Are they confident?
They're hopeful.
Okay.
Hopeful is the word. And, Senator Stabenow has been an advocate and Northern Michigan farmers, in many cases, best friend. She grew up on a farm here in Michigan. She is head of the Agriculture Committee. She is invested and involved, and Michigan has had a strong, solid voice at the table in Washington, D.C., thanks to Senator Stabenow. So there is some concern about our best bet to get a bill done that is favorable to Michigan and Northern Michigan is while she's still there. She is a huge advocate for farming. When she retires and leaves office, towards the end of the year, Michigan will lose that voice on that committee.
Right.
So she is optimistic. They are very hopeful. Farmers are very hopeful that they can get this done while we still have a strong, solid voice at that table that will be negotiating this deal.
So at this point, we're kind of just left to wait to see.
We are left to wait, and the farmers are left to wait,
right.
And the researchers are left to wait. And yes, we do expect movement on this. Whether a deal can be reached, fingers crossed.
All right, Mark, thanks so much for joining us and for going a little more in depth into that special report. We have another story to share with you before our first commercial break, and it is part of our Exploring Michigan series. So we know that our state has so many wonderful places to recreate outdoors, but some of them are more well known than others. So I got to go to a trail system in Manistee County that's a little bit off the beaten path.
The Big M is certainly one of our most interesting places to recreate.
Located in a canopy of hardwoods in the Manistee National Forest, the Big M offers a little bit of everything for outdoor recreation enthusiasts.
From snowshoeing to fat tire biking to cross-country skiing to just hiking. You can come out here any time of year and just enjoy 40 miles of trails.
This nature area has a rich history dating back to the 1950s, but it's the land's unique topography that brings people here today.
Big M used to be a ski area. It closed in the 70s before it was converted to a trail system. So for terrain, there's not as many places that have this level of terrain.
And it's that level of terrain that attracts people not just from Michigan, but from across the entire country.
About 12,000 people came here in 2023, and they come from everywhere. We had about 23 states that touched the Big M.
I came from Chicago, and with my partner, we came to go mountain biking.
Anna Kinderman has lived in the Midwest for 15 years, but is originally from Washington State.
Sometimes I'll just spend time looking at the topographic maps of the region and look for the highest elevation points. And I just saw oh, there's a big hill in Michigan. Let's go check that out.
And to check this out, it may require a little legwork before you hit the trails.
The Big M probably isn't the most well-known place in the state. It's probably not the most well-known place in our county, but there are these secret gems along the way that if you have a little bit of ability to search the internet or you want to do something different, ask a bike rider where they like to ride, and I guarantee somebody's going to say the Big M.
I think it's one of the nicest ones that I've been to.
But it takes a lot of work and volunteers to keep these trails so nice.
2 partners, at least 6 permanent recreation staff on the local ranger district that help to try and maintain this, but it's a very, very large community effort to keep it running and to keep it as pristine. You know, they really offer, again, an excellent product.
An excellent product with a unique feature to help warm you up in the winter time.
It's great in the winter, and it's great right now. You know, just waiting here today, it was wet, and here we are. Got a fire going, warming up in the lodge.
To have a warming station like this and just a place to have shelter is really spectacular.
No matter what season you're exploring this trail system, it can provide a much needed breath of fresh air.
When you really take in nature and really take in what the outdoors mean, some of that is, it's physical, absolutely, but there's a mental part of forgetting about work and forgetting about your cell phones. And sometimes you need solitude and the quiet to be able to do that. And I love the Big M because it allows you to do that.
Every time we get on the trails, I'm just like, whee! Like, I just have like the biggest smile on my face.
For Exploring Michigan, I'm Maya Engel. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but Joel will have much more on your weather forecast coming up next.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Well, if you've been needing a little sunshine in your life, sounds like tomorrow could be the day for you. Right, Joe?
Or just watch you on Unscripted, right?
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, you know, it's been cloudy. I mean, going back to, what was it, Sunday afternoon is when we had that rain come in. But we're going to see some sunshine tomorrow and then through Friday. By the way, let's go to Thompsonville. That was earlier today. Benzie County. Yeah, and we had our drone up. Not many leaves left on the trees, Maya. They're pretty much gone now. There's the water tower. Nice view And still cloudy, but tomorrow, Thompsonville, around the rest of northern Michigan, should see a pretty decent day coming up. Let's go to the current situation. Here's a look at Petoskey. Of course, it's dark, 44 degrees right now. Our Holiday Inn Express and Suites camera there along Highway US 131. And we're starting to clear things out now in Petoskey and areas, especially north of there. So here's what we've had over the last 24 hours. A lot of rain, low pressure passed through here and has moved along and out of the area, and you can see that heading away from northern Michigan. Back home, still some clouds trying to hang on. Our northern areas have cleared out. Ignore the green, that's not real, but we do have a little bit of clearing. Further south down this way, more in the way of clouds and still a couple showers and some drizzle mixing in. But look at the next few days here. Dry weather tomorrow. Should get a fair amount of sunshine in here. Thursday, Friday, looking good into Saturday. Saturday, clouding up later in the day, but the next 3 days looking pretty quiet, and we have that in the outdoor outlook. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, green is good here. Like a traffic light can go. Quiet weather expected through Saturday. Quick look at the weekend. Again, Saturday, a gradual increase in clouds, upper 40s to mid 50s, but Sunday, I do expect some showers to come in here. Kind of like last weekend, we had kind of a similar scenario play out. Our extended forecast, 2 chances for rain, really, Maya, Sunday, and again next Wednesday. Right now, Veterans Day, a lot of ceremonies and things going on Monday. Low and mid 50s, looks pretty quiet.
Nice. Always good when there's no rain on Veterans Day.
Yep.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. We're going to take another quick break, but we will check in with our sports director, Harrison Beebe, in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Let's turn things over to sports and check in with our sports director, Harrison Beebe, who I know is at a volleyball game, but that's about all I know. Hey, Harrison, how's it going?
Maya, that's the beauty of me being in charge of sports and you being in charge of Unscripted. You never know for sure.
It's so true.
What's going on?
Yep, I really never knew.
I am at, it's hard to tell on the wall. Well, no, there you go. That's a dead giveaway. I'm at Boyne City for a Division II volleyball district semifinal doubleheader. Kingsley just defeated Sault Ste. Marie 3-0 a few minutes ago, and we're minutes away from the start of the home team Ramblers taking on Sheboygan in the other half of this district. So we'll get you both those highlights tonight at 11. The winners, Kingsley already won. They'll take on the winner of Boyne City Sheboygan tomorrow for the district championship here on this floor. As we begin the postseason journey for volleyball teams to get to Battle Creek in 2 weeks to play for a potential state championship. We had 2 teams in the state finals a year ago in Traverse City, St. Francis, and Leland. The Leland Comets are already out this year. Traverse City, St. Francis looks like they have another loaded roster, so the Glads could play a role in the Division III state tournament. So a lot still to be decided. We'll have regionals next week, into quarterfinals the following week, all the way to the semifinals and finals down there in Battle Creek as we determine to go along with the football postseasons which are on. And those are the only 2 fall sports still left playing at the moment in team competitions.
And Harrison, in about 30 seconds, what else is going on in the sports world today?
The Pistons and Red Wings are going to get back to work representing the Motor City. The Pistons, could they win 3 straight? They're playing the Charlotte Hornets, so it's not a very tough ask if you ask me. And the Red Wings have a national TV game tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. That'll be on TNT or the Max app, the old HBO Max app, if you have that. That's how I've been watching hockey and basketball games lately. And you can view the Red Wings on nationally televised coverage there. So if you want to get your Detroit sports fix, that's available.
And Harrison will have highlights from the volleyball games and from those Pistons and Red Wings games tonight at 11, so be sure to join us then. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Well, we don't have a question of the day, so we don't have any live results to look at. But hey, at least you folks watching got a break from me saying, and scan the QR code on your screen to vote. So there's that. But thanks so much for joining us tonight on Up North Live Unscripted at 6:30. We really appreciate it. And as always, we hope to see you back here tonight on Up North Live News at 11. Take care, everyone.